Hello guys, it is that Panda Guy. I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at Dark Seal clips of, I guess, just fighting, and I will talk a bit about Dark Seal, my thoughts on it, and just stuff I guess we did in the clips. I will have two videos for Dark Seal, and I do want to note real quick that I didn't include all of the zeroing as well as just everything in this video, because or even in my next video I actually left out more than half of the fighting because one, I just didn't have enough time before Island to edit all the videos as well as voice them over, and I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm just a little bit lazy, and I'm moving houses soon, so it is just a little bit problematic for me. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoy this video. But yeah, I'll tell you guys about just the whole event. So right here, you actually see us hitting a base, and this dude was online. He was hitting people, I'm pretty sure, fighting people, whatever it was. But his Marches came home, and we ported by, and we smacked this dude. And basically, there was like this trigger that we had figured out, right? And I figured it out about, I think, 20 minutes into the event, mid zeroing some players. But basically, if you guys didn't know, the rules basically had stated that a base will shield after they burn, and you can basically go and hit this base until the bar hits about like reddish, right? If it gets down to about 20%, maybe a little less, and you back off, you don't get, you let the wall recover, you go back in, and basically all the lightly wounded troops will come back out onto the battlefield. And it's just a really nice method. Though I will say this dude that we were hitting right here was pretty smart with how he was playing, and he kept trying to send his Marches out to actually empty his base out. So while we were mid hitting his base, basically we would accidentally completely burn his base, and we wouldn't be able to get dead. So he was playing it smart, and he ended up actually managing to do it successfully, sending out his March, and we ended up burning him. Unfortunately, the dude was a pretty good sport about it. He messaged me, and it was just pretty chill. So big GG to that guy for how he played it. We didn't get no deads on him, and I mean, honestly, it looked like he didn't even have enough troops in his base to get many deads, if he would get any. But I don't know, man. Like, this event was, I will say, for me personally, I did enjoy it, but I can honestly see why people had issues with it, being that it is mostly for bigger players or just whales in general. I did go out on this event. I lost the majority of my troops because, I mean, 85% troops back is a lot, and I wanted to have fun this event, and I did have a lot of fun. Although, like I said, I lost a lot this event. I had fun, and dude, I feel like the thing is, I feel for people, the majority of people, they probably didn't have a lot of fun, at least a lot of smaller players, or the region that was the minority, or even just the region that lost, right? Because you might get ganged up by two regions, and even if you had a lot of fun, you felt like you were cheated out, because it's like, why are there three regions on on this map when it should just be maybe two regions or four regions, so you at least have a chance to I guess negotiate with one of those regions. Just in general, I feel like the event could be planned better, or it could be made better. Just overall, it was just a little, there could be some better tweaks. I also find that it being right before Island is a little bit unnecessary. I feel that if they made it maybe after like the first, after Island, like did the event after Island, and they didn't do it at the end of the month right before Island, that would make more sense. They did it in the top commander after Island, but before Island is just a bit exhausting. You burn out too much. Too many people have, I think, egos, right? I understand wanting to hold your metro or defend your metro, but honestly, when you really think about it, I don't think it's worth burning out before Island to defend a metro that you have little to no chance to defend, right? So overall, I just find this event a little lackluster. At the same time, like I said, I personally had fun, but I can see how many people didn't find an appeal with it. There's also the fact that in Top Commander, for example, a lot of people got so many kill points during this event, it made it so hard for, let's say, a free-to-play player to actually place properly if they wanted to place in this event. If you have top commanders that are, where you make the top commander placements, where you tell people what to place, this is like way harder for people to place. Just in general, there's a lot that I feel like could be improved. Maybe even making this not during top commander, though I feel like that would actually go off worse with a lot of people, being that some people just do duels because of this event, or do duels because of top commander, and I feel like this event does give a sense of region unity in some cases. So I feel that this event is good for some reasons, I feel it's bad for other reasons, and I can honestly see both sides of the spectrum, but I kind of wanted to just blab on about that while you guys watch this footage. And to continue my blabber, I mean, honestly, I don't really know what else there is to talk about. I guess we can just talk about the footage, you know. I mean, I already told you guys about the little get around with the shield thing. So, honestly, I think everybody needs to be careful going into this event. I feel there were maybe a lot of people who had their guards down because of the whole rule, but honestly, you know, it was fast to get around or figure out to get around. I mean, someone probably just spread it and then everybody figured out, to be fair. Like, I doubt everybody just knew right off the bat. I feel like that's one of those loopholes that are so obvious, but you just don't think about, you know? It's, I don't know. Also, over here, these guys were online, but I saw them out here farming hive minds and stuff, and I caught him with his heroes off his wall, and I took advantage and smacked him right upside the head. Though I don't think I got any deads on him. You also saw Tom on his wall there, so I tried to bop around and hit these other guys really quickly. But it didn't really work that well. I did hit 200 million kills, by the way, this this event, so that made me very happy. And I'm not gonna like us. I literally just saw the island matchmaking, and let me tell you guys, I started just laughing. I just started laughing to myself because this is it's ridiculous, man. We just got hit with the golden luck bar. Honestly, that might also be due to us just having such a losing streak. Maybe I'm not sure how the matchmaking might work. I know they tweaked it a bit. That's honestly interesting. I wonder how they tweaked the matchmaking though. Also, I burnt that dude because I didn't want to go in for another swarm. I could have kept going, but I got anxious and I didn't want someone to just pour in and start swarming me or something. You know, I worry about that, especially with a big alliance like ANCS. I'm defo swarmable, but honestly, I should have been less full of worry because I mean, honestly, I had my ult, and I actually did this twice during the event where I would port it beside me when someone tried to come swarm me, and basically would reinforce myself. And I mean, it's a really good tactic, you know, especially like 1 million plus troops, and at some point I get so low on troops that I'm like down to, I don't know, like 1.3 mil, I think, at the end of the event. I mean, for some people that's a lot, but in my case, that is easily swarmable by a whale or even two whales. You know, having two whales swarming you down, two tier 6 monsters, that is a bit too much for me. But with like 2.3 million troops, that is plenty. Even more if I have like my full troop count. Also, we have some monsters like Samuel or HK, and they would just go through swarming some random people. These mechs look so awesome, by the way. And I mean, we also had some of our own players swarmed. Rest in peace. But you know, it was still a fun event for me, honestly, and I got some pretty good clips out of it. Also, this player was going around and hitting our guys, you know, Cozy. That was one of the alliances, I think, that they, I don't know if it was Cozy or PLW, but they were hitting one of our alliances. So we pulled up over here. We started swarming them down. I think they had like 600,000 dead or something like that. That was pretty nasty number. But I had my panda guy account over here, and the thing is, it only has 3 marches, and I actually sent it earlier, but it doesn't have enough troops for a buttload of marches. So I was trying to help it get points, honestly, and get some kills with my Pandy account, because honestly, I was getting a ton of points with Pandy. I honestly would have not cared if I got John, but this event I took advantage of it, and I did place top 15, and I unlocked John. And you know, I'm kind of happy I did do that, because now I still kept my perfect record of having every single hero in the game. So you know, I can't say I'm disappointed with having John, even if I don't like John as a hero. You know, happy boy. And here we have my alt. I needed points on my alternate accounts because although, you know, I have so many of them and getting them all to hit 10 million points is nearly impossible. And I didn't actually get that, obviously, but I did get a few to hit the requirements. So I was like, why not? If I saw weaker bases, this one I think was 26 million maybe when I started. I saw some weaker bases and I sent these ones after them instead of sending like my main or you know, like my bigger accounts. You know, I would just send these like 70 mil or like 60 mil ones to, you know, hunt them down, because just way simpler. And I mean, like I said, they need points. It's also good for top commander. If I can get those four reward things out, I can end up getting the 50% expansion. And although I don't really care about 50% expansion for my alts, I do think that it's good if I'm like defending a tower that's maybe getting swarmed or something. Those are really clutch. Just those extra troops I can send in those 5 batches can become just really massive. So I do try to get those 50%. on my ults, though I wouldn't spend gems on them because I mean I have better places to spend those gems. I'm sorry guys if I'm just blabbering, but I hope I keep you guys entertained anyways. I know some people don't like the commentary, but honestly I think the vast majority of you do like this. Also here you guys see me hitting this guy, so I think he was like around 50 mil, but I basically came in here and I was trying to hit 200 million kills, right? And I was super nervous because I ported in region 10, right? And I know at this point I am really low on troops. So let's say if I have a whale port beside me right now and just start swarming me, besides trying to port an alt in over here, there's not much I can do. I'm going to be held down and I'm just going to be forced to tank chain swarms or anything. That would just be deadly. So I was a little bit scared, but I was willing to risk it for the biscuit, go crazy, and it did pay off. Nobody really got me. They did try to hit my base once, but it didn't pay off. This guy near like 60 million, he had, I think, the wrong heroes on his wall, if I'm correct. And also, I was running out of troops, if you guys don't notice it there. Usually I can run 5 marches, even with a 25% expansion. But now I am out of troops. I am just dead. I'm down about 10, down over 10 million mind at this point. And I'm using Siege in my marches to try to fill and just hit this dude. And you got Paulo 9 over here in the corner, by the way. He'll keep smacking my march, and I'll keep trying to smack him a little bit, scare him back into his base so he doesn't try to commit like a swarm on one of my marches. And then I pop back on the base. But at some point, I don't think I'm able to finish the 0, but I'm able to get a pretty good portion out of him. And I do end up hitting 200 million kills, but at the cost of my sanity, and I did get chased down a little bit over here. They come for my meat and they freaking smack me on my I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna continue. I'm just being stupid, guys. But yeah, Paul does try to smack me a little bit. It didn't matter to me since this base would constantly hit red bar by the time he did smack me for the most part. And by then I needed to either refresh my marches or I needed to stop hitting him anyways, so it was the perfect timing. Though honestly, I don't understand why he didn't commit a swarm. I feel like he had more troops than me at this point, or at least higher tier troops. He has better parts than me and stuff, so overall his stats are probably better. And in a 1v1 field fight, I probably would lose that, especially closer to his base. And if I had to run back to my base, I would basically taking skill damage shots from behind. So that was the big worry here, and right here, you're going to see, I think I commit a fight soon with this guy, but basically I get kind of stuck and drawn up in this fight, whereas he can keep refreshing his marches, pulling them back in his base. For example, I did this the other day where I was fighting someone, I think it was Jess, I was fighting her outside my base, and I would basically recall my melt, the marches she kept trying to melt. I would keep recalling them and it would make her marches stop focusing it, and they would just go idle, and then I would just send it back out, and I would keep doing that because she would try to get my squishy marches like my range or my riders, so I could keep recalling those, as well as just the fact that you can refresh your troops in general, right? Like that's just a big plus. And sorry guys, I'm blabbing. Freaking llama came to hit my base. I was like, oh heck no. And I think I just let my marches melt a bit, get a few marches back home. I didn't have many in my hospital by this point, so I just ended up recalling my troops. I said, you know what, I'll take a little bit of skill shots from behind. Llama, I don't think he was strong enough to, even at the point that I was at, I still had like 1.5 million troops left, and just swarming me right here, solo swarming me, it would still be hard unless you're like a big whale. And I think I go in for one more smack, get my little last bit, let him burn, and then I poured off. I think this is about it to the video. There's only like 2 minutes left. I'm trying to get to the end of this video, guys, but all right, now we're gonna look through some reports. This was disgusting. Sorry guys, I'm freaking awkward. All right, this dude was online. Okay, I think this is the last clip. Maybe this dude was online. I think he had a pretty big amount of deads, maybe like 500 600k, and he would have had maybe more, up to like 1,000,000 dead troops. But the issue is my panda guy account was running it on my PC, and my PC sometimes, like when I'm hitting my toggle all marches, my marches sometimes don't actually register, they won't listen to me, and it happened one of those times, and then it ended up just burning the base, and I couldn't complete the 0 because it didn't recall the march. So I was kind of annoyed by that, but we did get pretty far in this swarm, and this dude was online, so I don't know, there's something about swarming online players that's just super appealing, you know. Just because I don't know, maybe it's an adrenaline rush and you're like, I gotta do this, you know. Oh, someone's gonna hit me. I sound stupid, okay, but you know, I don't care. I love sounding stupid. Also, I'm having to refresh my marches a lot. If you guys won't tell it here, you know, my marches kept getting low. I think it's especially because I'm running so many engines. Like you even see my dut march there, complete engines, literally. So I'm literally running on fumes at this point. I'm down to 98 million. I started this event with almost 113 million might. Just dude, like hitting bases is painful. It's rewarding when you feel those kills adding up, because I feel like kills are a badge of honor, you know? Like who cares about having might, you know? I don't care if I'm 150 million might if I have 10 million kills, right? Like that's so lame. I'm not a fighter and it's just not fun, you know? That's just me though. I mean, some people prefer the farmer life, you know? I can get it, but I wouldn't get down with it. And yeah, that's, you know, I'm gonna let this video end off because I'm honestly done with my commentary. You guys have a good one though. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoy these reports right here. I do appreciate you guys for giving me your time as always, and I do just thank you guys. You guys have a good day or night though, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And that is it. Peace.